and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Israel.
That's right. Shabbat shalom, Israel. Shabbat shalom. How's everybody this afternoon?
All right. So we got about 15 people on right now, and we've probably still got some coming on.
Okay,
Pray that you all are. That's
Okay.
right. Pray that you all are having a blessed Shabbat. Man, what a blessing it is to be in. It's almost Passover, Pesach. So getting ready for that. So just remember, y'all, this week, just start removing all the leaven out of your homes, and make sure that is all removed before we enter into the Passover.
All right. So y'all see, Passover is about to be next week on the it'll be the 14th sundown for us, which will begin the 15th day, which will be Saturday sundown, which will be 2nd of April. All right, this will be the 2nd of April. We'll start with the Passover.
That's right. And y'all know where y'all can find the calendar link as well too. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and download those calendars. We're not charging for calendars. We don't do that. So just make sure you download the calendars and study them. Hey, so we got a great topic by request. We're going to be talking about this whole divestment culture movement that's been going on. Now, I didn't really know a lot about this. I did know. I mean, I understand what the term means, but I didn't realize it was this bad until a couple of brothers showed me this, and then I started investigating it more and everything. And then it dawned on me. I said, okay, I remember now. And all those cases where our sisters have been dying at the hands of their enemies. Then it came and then a light bulb went off. So okay, that's what that was about and everything. And I didn't realize how bad it's really gotten. So tonight we're gonna have a good discussion on that. We're gonna put out some scriptures, and Brother Eitan has a clip that he's gonna show you. So go ahead and take us away, brother.
Con. And before I show that clip, Yasharel, right? I wanted to also bring out that this divestment culture, it's more of a it's more of a warning to the sisters. This is not for really the sisters. Well, the sisters in the truth. We want you to bring this to other sisters that you might know at your job, or
That's
this,
right.
that, and the third, because this kind of thing is really a cancer in our society. In our whole congregation, and we need to, just like we're about to have the Feast of the Unleavened Bread, we need to get rid of the leaven, right? A little leaven, will get rid of the whole lump. So, right. So, what we need to do in this next video, I'm gonna show you just pretty much just a synopsis that sums up the whole thing that we're going to talk about tonight. Of course, we're going to leave the link in there for anyone if they want to have a testimony or if they have anything to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, without further ado, let me see if I can go ahead and take us away here. Give me a second, bro. Let me share the screen.
And while he's doing that, y'all, and the reason why we're doing this subject is because it has to be exposed. And like Brother Eitan said, look, y'all, the Passover is coming, and not only that though, but we really need to start soul searching ourselves and our people. We have fallen out of grace with one another, and it has to stop. And a lot of times I hear these women talking and these brothers talking, and they act like that it's just them, it's just the men, or it's just the women. We got to get back. We got to get back to these laws, commandments, and statutes, y'all, because if this continues like we're doing now, our people are going to be destroyed.
Right. So, and this goes more along the line of the same old narrative that we see, that these corporations, what they're pushing this feminism real hard on our people. And instead of our sisters giving their best time and their best age in their years to our brothers, or to brothers who keep the commandments, or just a brother that just trying to live right, even if they're not in the truth, as far as marriage is concerned, instead of giving their best years to their husband, they're giving their best years to these corporations, right? Which has our as you always say, if you're trying to if you go into the hot call line and then you have somebody that's over the collection department, more than likely it's one of our people. It's one of our sisters there that are, with the, that's trying to, get Esau's money or get the heathen's money back from them, from whoever they've loaned it out to. But that just is just one of the things that we're going to be talking about, along with just this whole divestment movement here. So we're going to go ahead and it's pretty much right around the same thing as swirling and all of this nature, but it just seems to be something that's extremely dangerous, especially nowadays, where these law enforcement agencies and things of that nature, they just feel it's just comfortable just to shoot our people down in the street. So these heathens, they're just taking it among themselves just to just attack our people anywhere and anyhow they can. All right, so without further ado, it's only 6 minutes and 37 seconds, so I'm gonna take us away. Oh, also, right, if y'all guys want to check out this brother's channel, it's called the Philip Scott Show. He's okay. He doesn't really say anything wicked that I've noticed since I've been reviewing this channel, since the brother had brought this to Daniel and I.
Unfortunately, we have another episode of Divestment Tales. We try to warn our sisters out here with these zaddies. These zaddies are just hurting and harming these sisters. And
Salakia, right? A zaddy, apparently, I had to look it up. Apparently, it's a white guy with money, or just a different from a brother. So instead of a daddy, he's a zaddy. I don't know how that correlates, but let's continue.
These stories just unfortunately keep coming out. They just keep coming out. And once again, you know who I blame? I blame all these little females online that's promoting that. Because let's talk about it for real, for real. This hasn't been something that's been going on as of always in the Black community. This is something as of recent. And you have a lot of females online promoting this to other young and impressionable Black women that maybe just had some relationship issues, and sometime in our community, unfortunately, we internalize everything just, oh, well, if a few Black men do something, okay, well, all of them are bad. So let me go try Zaddy over here because, hey, I heard on this YouTube channel, Zaddy is just the best thing ever. And Zaddy, oh, he'll give you all the money. And, oh, Zaddy gonna treat you so good. And, oh, my God, he ain't like them Black men whatsoever. Now, this story, Asia Maynard went on a date with Zaddy, end up at Zaddy's house, and she never came back again. Let's roll that clip. Now, this
Slakia, no folly. It doesn't matter. I'm not really concentrating on who this guy's married to or anything like this. I want you to pay attention to the information, right? Worrying about who this guy's married to and stuff like that. That doesn't. I'm not here for that. I'm not going to send you guys to something that's not righteous or put you onto a topic that doesn't have to do with our people. That's not dangerous. That's not righteous. I'm not over here. Brother Daniel and I, we're not telling you to marry heathen women or any of that. So no folly in the comment section. Please pay attention.
Case sounds so similar to Lauren Smith Fields. Listen to what they said about her, how she was in blood and her eyes and all of that. Sound very, very similar to Lauren Smith Fields about that blood coming out all over the place. Is these zaddies just trying to set up these Black women out here because they listen to y'all videos. They're listening to y'all. And this is another young Black woman that lost her life. Now, they had some people come out that exposed this dude. So let's put this up, Brother Elvis. This person says, we went to middle and high school with him. He's responsible for 7 fentanyl overdoses that had been swept under the rug just in the last year. Isaiah James Crown is his name. I hope he takes his L soon before somebody else has to die. Rest in peace, Pretty. On top of that, words come out that he's connected, his family has money, and they know people in law enforcement. So how is it that a 29-year-old girl, I would say she's a girl, but young woman, died of natural causes at 29? At 29, natural causes, No. Zaddy gave that sister something. I know he did. I know he did. Yeah, he did it. And them police is covering it up. Just like they're covering up Lawrence Smith Fields. Listen to me, young sisters. I'm not talking about these old ones out here. They set in their ways. I ain't trying to say nobody old. Well, you young sisters, do not listen to these women who failed at relationships, lead you to a path of slaughter. Because a lot of these women who failed at relationships, they talk about black men, they couldn't even get one. Out of all the millions of black men out there, they couldn't get one. They failed. And they failed in getting a white one too, because they can't get one. Because these white men, the ones that got actually sense and decent, they know they just trying to use them, be gold diggers and get a bag out of them. So you're like, well, shoot, I'm going to whore them out and do whatever. That's what the average one would do. They get these dusty zaddies, 9 times out of 10, they get a dusty one. They think that zaddy, like, oh, they're going to get the Eve treatment and the Serena Williams treatment. No, that's like hitting a Powerball for them. You hit the
And make no mistake, just because Eve and Serena Williams happen to get them a heathen, best believe they will get destroyed. Okay. And this is not for Salakia. This is not for just because, like, what I want you guys to understand is that the men that if they, like when they go off, right, and they're marrying these other women, other types of women. Now, us men, we have to hold each other accountable, and even those men that are doing that, the Most High's got to handle him, right? The men don't need protection other than from themselves, right? And other men, like those men, they can protect themselves. Brother Daniel and myself, right? We're bringing you this for our duty because it is the duty of the man to protect the woman. Okay, this is the duty of the man to protect the woman. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with this video. All right, Salakia.
The Powerball a lot faster than one of them getting the type of men that Eve and Serena Williams got. And really, Serena Williams, she got more money than him. So I can't even say that. So let me go on and say Eve, because her husband got way more money than what she has, right? And you don't hear Eve out here dissing the brothers. You don't hear Serena out here just dissing the brothers. Why? Because they met the person they with them. That's them. See, me personally, I don't care if they with them. As long as you're not out here putting out a propaganda. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Serena, nothing bad to say about.
And of course, he doesn't have anything bad to say about that because, just like the comment section says, he is married to a heathen woman. And I did listen to his explanation behind that. And he's being wicked as hell and not keeping the commandments.
That's right.
By saying that, he feels that he can get along better with another nation, which is not the problem, which is not the issue. Okay. Even if you feel as though, you can get along better with another nation, the Most High does not condone our brothers and sisters going to the nations of the other people. It's just like, for example, we see those if we see a sister decide that she feels that the Most that feels that she has a gift for teaching or preaching or bringing out the gospel. Again, it may feel right. It may feel like you know what you're doing, but that goes against the scriptures. So like what we have to do, we have to quiet down that inner voice that's not that goes against the scripture, and we have to go along with the laws, statutes, and commandments. Yeah, Brother Dave, you want to say anything before I continue?
No, but just in bringing this out, the whole point in bringing this out is just to show everyone, what's really going on, and the fact that this divestment thing is happening. We're not just dealing with the women, the men too, because the men, we as the priest, we have failed our women, like the brother said, to be the protector, and that was the original line. And we're gonna get into that a little more after this video.
All right, we're gonna continue on.
About Eve, nothing. It's just these females that put out this propaganda out here, and it's causing the death of young black women going to these zaddies. So y'all lay it at the feet of them. And this is why they don't talk about these stories. The They the one to do it, right? But we know what it is. So young black women, for the sake of your life, don't you listen to them females. Those females are failures. They're failures. They can't get a black man to save their life, at least one of substance. And they can't even get a white man either. That's why they always on YouTube, because the black women that got white husbands is not on YouTube all day talking about black men. They're at their house with their white husband and their kids, living their life. They ain't worried about what black men are doing because they ain't thinking about it. They living their life. So if they always on YouTube talking about, oh, black men, you ain't got a white man. That's why you're on there. You're campaigning for a racist one at that. But it's sad. It's sad what happened with this situation. It's very, very sad. This young girl had 4 children. So now they don't have no mama no more. Please be careful dealing with Zaddy. You have been warned. But y'all let me know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, about this story here with Asia Maynard. Unfortunately, this would not be the last story.
I want to just make a couple of, as I was listening to this, and you notice, and I've investigated, and I've listened to several of our sisters talk about the reason for their divestment, and 9 times out of 10, it's because they claim that there's no more good, black men out there, so-called, Israelites. But when they get with these other nations, they think that the grass is greener on the other side, and they feel like they've been manipulated with this whole education system and everything, thinking that the only way you're going to make it, you got to have all the money, you got to be with the most popular dude. So you'll see, like, some of these white guys. I've seen it before. Like, if you go into like these inner cities where gentrification is really high, like Atlanta and Austin, Texas, and different other places, you'll see like all these nice high rises, but then you'll see like a lot of these white people, but you'll see like the white men having the baddest sister, bad, they just bragging about it, and then the brothers, they get like the bottom of the barrel, these big old nasty fat ones. But getting back to what I've seen and that's going on, when you see these white dudes with these fine black women, they don't do it because they're fine. They do it because they know they have a trophy, and that's what they use these black women for, is trophies. And what good is a trophy? All you do is only good to show off to your friends, right? And so that's the mentality they have. The Bible, y'all, is clear. The Bible says that we would be hated among all nations. So to think that the grass is greener on the other side, and to think that, oh, your enemies are going to treat you better, that's straight up folly. I mean, that's just wicked. And you totally against what the Most High said. He says that we will be hated among all nations. And that's why you're seeing all these deaths, these women being killed and everything, because these white men don't love the black women. They just want them as trophies to show them, hey, look, I got me a black woman, just to show off to their friends and everything. And then when they're done with them, they put them right back on the shelf like a trophy.
And then not only that, right? If you look at the kind of, let's say, for example, that Serena Williams, right? If you look at her husband or whatever, man, he looks like he looks like a homosexual. He looks like, I guess if there's a such thing as a beta male, I mean, like, he doesn't look like anyone's first choice. And see, these are the heathens that the sisters are trying to go after, the ones that they think that they can emasculate and they can take over, because in the black community, the brothers too much, they're not putting up with it. And if you see that our marriage rates are so low that that we're just not going for it a lot. We're not going for it anymore. Now, a lot of our people, I see that we frequent establishments that aren't conducive to building positive relationships or finding those kind of people that would follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Even though that if you have a problem, with your counterpart, with your black, with your black man, or with your Hebrew man, or your Israelite man, a solution, right? A solution for our people is not to go to the other nations, right? If we go to the nations, not only that, we run the risk of creating mamzeers, That's number one. Run the risk of even, I mean, like, what happens if you, get in a car accident and you're around there sleeping with a, and you're around there fornicating with another nation, the enemies of God. I mean, those folks in the scriptures, they're literally considered to be the enemies of the Most High.
That's right. And you know what? Another thing too. Let me tell you another reason why a lot of these women are divesting is because they don't want to follow the natural order of the Most High. Now, with the whole feminine movement thing going on, and these women are following that, the heathens have a lot to account for that, because that's who's pushing that stuff out. It's the same people, y'all, who run these banks and controls the media and everything. This Khazarians, they were doing the same thing in Germany. That's why Hitler was trying to get rid of them. They were bringing in homosexuality, all kinds of stuff. Same thing going on in Ukraine. They're bringing all. Did y'all know that Ukraine every year they have a pride? They have a gay pride parade in Ukraine, and it is these Khazars that are behind this stuff. And so with this whole divestment movement that's going on with our sisters, guess who's behind it? It is the Khazars. And one thing I got to understand, when they cry out democracy is against the Most High. The first angels that demanded democracy was the fallen angels, because they wanted to go astray from the Most High. Demonic against the Most High power, and you see where it led them. So now, fast forward to now, you have these so-called sisters and brothers that just want to do their own thing, and they feel that it's okay to go against the natural order of the Most High. And so the Most High is allowing these things to happen. All this stuff is being played out because, this is what we wanted. We wanted a democracy. We wanted to be free-minded. We wanted to be independent, apart from the Most High. And this is the end result, y'all. This is nothing to play with. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse, because we still have a lot to learn. We are the most stiff-necked people of all the nations. We are, but yet we're the chosen. So the Most High is he just, a lot of our people are going to have to bleed out. Bleed out, meaning that they're going to have to continue in their ways. Now, if these women feel like this is, that there's no more black men out there, then that's only their little perverted, mindset that they have in their own world. Brother, can you do me a favor? Can you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11? Yeah, my computer's not letting me share.
Okay, Con. 1 Corinthians chapter 11.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 11.
All right, Con.
Yep, and then we're gonna go to verse 3, because I want to show you the natural order, and and see, sisters, this is why it's so important. And yes, men too. We're gonna have to stand up and be the priest in our home and stop being henpecked. I don't know if you ever heard that expression. That means that these weak men who let women run all over them, it's gonna be time for the men to really stand up and start becoming the priest again and showing the example. And that's the reason why a lot of our women are the way they are now. Because, and this thing goes back pretty far. All right, so this has always been the natural order. It would never change. It would never ever change. All right, it says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is who? Christ, Mashiach. And the head of the woman is the what? Is the man. And the head of Christ is God. Now, what does that mean? That means that the Most High always had a natural order. And you can bank this on the Torah, because all through the Torah, the man is the priest. He's responsible for taking care and protecting the woman and his children. But somewhere down the line, our women were not satisfied with that. They wanted to break away. They wanted to become independent, black, strong, and go against and buck against the Most High. See, there's always a price whenever you rise up and buck against the Most High and His laws, commandments, and statutes. There's going to always be a price to be paid. It's going to always be a blood sacrifice, and the end result, y'all, is going to be death. All right, brother.
Well, the reason why we say this is because, sure, there's like, as you've seen in the scriptures, right? let's just bring up a few examples in the scriptures that we know that Israel's went off a couple of times, right? But even at the time, I wouldn't say I'm not saying like the level of sin, right? I'm not going to really put a level on sin because all sin is much the same as wickedness,
Exactly.
right? But you do see times in the scriptures where the Most High has like for example, we had what was that? Benjamin, right? Benjamin was wicked, and the Lord killed all of them almost,
Mm-hmm.
right? All the women out of their tribes, right? He killed all the women out of their tribes, and then allowed, the Most High in His grace, He allowed them to take other men, other women to procreate and to start over the nation, right? As you see that being something that the Most High was okay with. There isn't anywhere in the scriptures where you can find where we see sisters, right? They're able to procreate with the heathen, right?
Exactly.
That does not happen, right? Because the reason being, and I know it sounds really messed up, but the Israelite man is all you have, sisters. There is no other man on this earth for you. If it's not the Israelite man, you don't get no man. You don't get to have a man. The Most High is really, especially if you're laying down with the heathen, the Most High is really not down with it. So,
Mm-hmm.
just to give you guys a scripture, we're gonna go to Jubilees 30, right? And this is concerning the law, right? It says, if there's any man who wishes in Israel to give his daughter or his sister, right, to any man who is the seed of the Gentiles, which is heathens, right, he shall surely die. So this goes into the part that even if you had a father, right, and then let's say you was a sister, whatever, and you brought home, I'm a heathen, an African, a Caucasian, an Asian, whatever the case may be, right? You brought him home to your father, and your father was accepting of him, right? But if your father did not, um, uh, it, if your father did not if your father agrees to letting you marry that heathen man, what does it say? If he doesn't repent, which he can't repent because his daughter is married to him, so as long as she's married to the heathen, what does that mean for him as long as the daughter, right? So you're gonna have this sin stuck on you. Let's say, for example, even if you laid with the heathen, we need to definitely repent from that. And it says, "A man who is a seed shall surely die, right? And they shall stone him with stones." So that's the father, or if a father decides to give, his sister away, so a father or brother. Then it says, "He hath wrought shame in Israel." Let's see what happens to the woman. "And they shall burn the woman with fire because she has dishonored the name of her father, and she shall be rooted out of Israel." Right. So what does that mean? That if you're going to be with the heathen man, the Most High is going to root you out. Don't look to see, Serena Williams in the kingdom. Don't look to see Eve in the kingdom, or any of these other sisters that thinks it's okay that they can divest into lesser men. True. The Israelite man right now, we don't have the power that we once did, but that doesn't mean we're still not the greatest man on the earth. Because throughout our hardest times, right, we seem to build one of the greatest civilizations on the earth so far, other than when we were ruling. Right?
Mm-hmm.
America is a superpower, right? Built on the backs and the bodies of black men, right? Of Israelite men.
That's right.
That's a problem. And then we have these sisters today that complain about, the black man wanting them to be humble and to, what I'm saying, and to, cook meals and do all of this stuff, but they say that they got a business. They say that they have a career that they need to do. But what about the sisters, our ancestors that was out there in the fields from sun up to sun up, right? From sun up to sundown, getting it in, but then they still had the time and the energy to put a hot meal on the plate for their man, right? What
That's
about that?
right.
You know what I mean? I mean, like it seems that we are a small shadow of what we were, right? You know what I'm saying? And then the sad thing about it is then when I hear the sisters complaining about the brothers, right? What are these brothers coming from? These brothers come from usually they come from what? A single parent home. These brothers come from a single parent home where their mother, they didn't want to, for the most part, they just didn't want to humble down under the brother, right? They didn't want to, and I hate to use the word submissive, but that's what the scriptures say. They didn't want to submit as he was the Lord. It doesn't matter if the man is being, like I always say, right? Salakia, right? One's behavior is not predicated on how the next person acts, unless it's like to protect your life or something like that. But if you have a brother and you married that man, and that man isn't really, if you feel that he's not paying attention to you, or he's not giving you all the love and family, and all the love and flowers and everything like that that you deserve, and you decided that you still shouldn't keep your side of the commandments, which would be pretty much total submission to the brother, who's in the right?
That's
Right?
right.
You can judge for that wickedness, for wanting to leave that brother and then divest into another community, divest into another nation. No, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like even the Israelite man being under captivity, under duress at all time, over the looking left and right over his shoulder because he's afraid for his life. But a lot of us out here, right, we're striving and we're strong, right? And even though we're bucking these curses, right, by keeping these commandments and trying to, move forward with what the Most High has given us, we have to stay strong, right? We have to stay strong as a people, and that we have to realize that we're not like the rest of the nations. We have a law, right? And we have a way that the Most High has got it set up. If you see a brother or a sister out there divesting into another community, you got to warn them, right? You have to warn them and say, hey, listen, man, if you're a brother and you out there and you got you a heathen woman because you feel that you just can't handle an Israelite woman, or whatever the case may be, or just because you may have been diluted and bamboozled by the European beauty standards, by all this televised vision and all this TV programming, right? We had to come out. We had to come out from under that, right? You had to come out from under that and realize that our sisters, we don't need them straightening their hair, right? Why are you doing that for? That's not your natural stuff. Don't look like the what I'm saying. The scriptures say what? Envy not thy oppressor and choose none of their ways.
Right.
Why would you know what I'm saying? The Most High has woolly hair. So we want you guys to have woolly hair, right? We can't have any of our people trying to be like the heathen. Brother Daniel?
Yeah. So I'm going to give you an example of verse 7 because we need to, our people need to know how brutal this is to not blend and merge with the other nations. Now, if you read in Jubilees too, the same chapter, and if you read a couple of chapters back as well too. Now, when Dana was raped by the son of Shechem, right? Dana was raped by the son of Shechem. Now, the Shechem, this nation they were a heathen nation. Now, had it been another Israelite or of the same nation, then if that Dana was raped by one of her own people, then the father would have to reconcile. They would, and the raper would have to give money to the father. But this wasn't the case because this was a heathen that raped her. Now, if this was the case that that Dana voluntarily did that, then she would have been destroyed. But because she was raped, they committed a crime against Israel, and that's why the Most High allowed the sons of Jacob to destroy Shechem. I mean, they killed everybody there, and destroyed them all because of what happened. But that's just showing you the importance, what the result of what happens when our people were involved in that kind of stuff, and how serious the Most High takes that. We are not to mix with the other nations. That is plain bold. Now I'm going to read a scripture. I want you to write this down. Just write this down. Write down Joshua, because we might not have to turn to every scripture, but we want y'all to write it down as well too. So write down the book of Joshua. Let's look at verse 23, and we're going to look at verses 7 through 8. So that's the book of Joshua, chapter 23, and we're going to start at verse 7 and 8. All right. And it says, so he got up on the screen, so I'll read it from the screen. It says that ye come not among these nations. Y'all hear that? It says that ye come not among these nations. So now, what are these? What this whole divestment movement thing? What is the purpose of it? It's telling these other women to stop loving your black men and go to the other nations for love. But the word specifically says that ye come not among these nations. These that remain among you neither make mention of the names of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them, but cleave unto the Lord your God, as ye have done unto this day. So when we look at this whole divestment movement, it is totally against the Most High and his ways and his laws and commandments and statutes. So the Most High tells us not to come among these nations. But then what do? We turn around and we say, okay, it's a new world. We're in a new time. We're not living back in the olden days. We're not living back in the 50s. We can do what we want to do now. Okay. The Most High says, okay, is that what you want to do? Then you're going to find out the hard way. And there has been a lot of cases, y'all, more than 10, several, and of women getting with these other nations and being killed at the hand of their enemies. Now, I want to show you one more before I turn it back over to Brother Aton.
Where you want to go, brother?
Deuteronomy chapter 7.
God.
Deuteronomy chapter 7. And then y'all write this down too. Deuteronomy chapter 7, and we're going to start with verse 2. We're going to read 2 through 4. All right. And it says, I'll wait till we highlight. Go ahead, and if you want to highlight it, that's fine. We're going to start at verse 2. And it says, and when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant. What is a covenant? A covenant is an agreement. It's a promise. It's a mergence. Thou shalt make no covenant. Your screen fell off, brother.
I know, that's Slocky, man. That's my bad.
Okay. No, that's okay. I got it. I'm gonna read it from the Sefer here. So
go ahead. I'll pull it right back up.
Yeah, that's fine. It says, and when Yahuwah shall deliver them before you, you shall smite them and utterly destroy them. You shall cut no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shall ye make marriage. Y'all hear that? Neither shall you make marriages. What is marriages? A marriages is a bond, an agreement between a man and a woman. It says marriages with them. Your daughter you shall not give unto his son. Y'all hear that? Your daughter you shall not give unto his son, nor his daughter shall you take unto your son, for they will turn away your sons from following me. Y'all hear that, y'all? I mean, that's powerful. For they will turn away your sons from following me, that they may serve other Elohim. So will the anger of Yahuwah be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. So that is a powerful statement all in itself, and even if we didn't see any other scriptures relating to this right here should really tell us how serious this is. So now when we got a group of people that are telling us or telling our sisters, you got other Israelite women telling other Israelite women that it's okay to divest. It's okay to stop loving black men. It's okay to go to the other nations for love. Now, Brother Aton mentioned our conditions. I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell, okay? I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but, going back to slavery, what happened to our men? They were emasculated. They were buck broken. And y'all know what buck broken means. We don't have to go into details. So what happens when you shame a black man in front of his family? His sons looks on him with disgrace. His wife looks on him with disgrace. And so the chains came off, still doing the same thing. Now you got the prison systems where they're making it easy for our people to commit crimes, making it easy for the brothers to commit crimes. It's another form of emasculation. And what's happening now? So now the whole world is seeing this, and we're being blamed because it's like, okay, you put the women on welfare, and you said, okay, the government's gonna give you money, but there's one thing: you cannot have a man in the house. So this, y'all, this thing is so deep, this goes back to the late 60s, early 70s when welfare was starting to be experimented with and welfare was specifically created to destroy the black family. That's what it was for. It wasn't for the white people. They don't care about white people being on welfare. It
right.
was it was specifically meant for Israel. Why? To tear the men out the home. So sisters, you got to understand when you start looking at men, black men in a negative light, you're gonna have to go deep and dig deep and to see why the men are in the condition that they are, and the system has beaten us up pretty damn hard, and so
and
a lot of
and
us,
right.
yeah,
Well,
hold on. And a lot of us have a hard time trying to come out of that. So women, when you go and say, black men ain't nothing, we can't trust the black men no more. It is when you see us in this condition, when you see our people in this condition, this is where you need to use your strength to pull your men up. You know, go ahead.
right. And well, just to go back on what the brother was saying about the buck breaking, right? Like the women might think, for example, that these brothers were just out here taking it. You know what I'm saying? That they
Mhm.
were out here just getting buck broke,
Mhm.
for no reason. Yeah, hey, do you know why they were going through that? It was to save the women and the children. If those brothers didn't get buck break, guess who would be dead? The women would be dead. So instead of looking at the brothers with some type of respect for actually, going through those kind of terrible things, right? It seems that now, right, the younger sisters, right, that we have in today's time that forgot what we went through as a people, man, they tend to shun them. They don't have no idea
Mhm.
about the history of slavery and the stuff
No.
that the men did to make sure that y'all lives were spared. So we can sit here today and y'all can sit here today and have all these freedoms and
Mhm.
stuff like that in the land of our captivity.
And
Right.
this is what has to be remedied because you know, our Israelite women, they realize they have more power than they think. And just imagine if our Israelite women started to realize that, and they use all their powers and all their mind and strength and says, you know what, forget this stuff. Everything that I have is going to be entrusted to my man. Now I got it. It's hard because we're living in a time where the men has been so abusive now that you can't just expect to jump up with any man and expect that to happen. It's going to take some very very slow healing in this process. But if we do not, I'm telling y'all, it's pretty much a done deal now. And I'm not trying to sound like being negative or anything like that because our people have gone so far backwards. But there is hope. But they're going to have to do it now. I mean, they're going to have to do it now, like ASAP. They're going to have to turn. They're going to have to do a 360 and come together because one of the things that our women fail to understand is they fail to understand the whole science behind why the brothers are in the situation that they're in now. It's a science to this, y'all. And they knew that if they can destroy the Israelite man, that it would be a wrap.
God.
You know.
Right. And
And then and then
well,
and then and then the women would be left to pretty much fend for themselves. They knew that the women would have to develop manly mannerisms, in order to raise the children without the fathers, and that's why we see so many kids, boys growing up effeminate because without that man in the home to give them that balance, all they know is emotions and what their mother experienced, and
Con.
the elites knew this stuff. They planned this. They planned this hundreds of years ago, and so now this is why we have a world full of men that are effeminate.
It's a circle, right?
Yeah.
It's a continuing revolving door. Is because the same the women that are tired of the brothers that chooses divestment culture or just choose to be wicked as hell and don't marry before you carry and
That's
things of
right.
that nature. Well, what y'all do, y'all complain about these men, but these men are the products of single mother homes. These men are over emotional because they don't have a father because the mother couldn't submit to the husband. Now, the reason, like another thing that the brother Daniel, why we go, maybe say when things are concerned, why we talk a little bit more to the daughters of Zion, mother bearing to the sons, is because y'all are under us, and the punishment that you have, right, for being wicked is going to be more heavily on y'all than it is on us. You understand? It's because like if y'all are not going, you know what I'm saying, if y'all are just out there and not doing what y'all supposed to be doing and being wicked as hell, the Most High is going to destroy y'all, all of y'all, and then it'll just start back over with the men. And I'm gonna show y'all an exact situation where that happened here in the scriptures. If Brother Daniel wants to say something before we go on about that.
Yeah. While he's pulling it up, this is why we go hard. This is why we go so hard with these kind of subjects, because especially with the senior daughters of Zion, and we go hard on them because it's their duty and it's their responsibility to teach the younger women how to be women, because they've been through it. They know, and a lot of them have been through the ringer. So, but you don't see that. There's only a few, and there's one lady, she's Muslim, and she's not even of the faith, but the points that she brings out are solid, and a lot of women fight against her. Shabazz something.
Yeah, Shahrazad Ali.
Yeah, Ali.
Shahrazad Ali.
And so she's really good, and I just wish that more women would listen to her. Hey, brother Lost Sheep, man, it's good to see you. I ain't seen you in years, so it's good to see you, brother. Shabbat shalom. All right, go ahead,
brother. Well, another thing, right? Building off of what Brother Daniel was saying earlier. What we have going on is these heathen are purposely pitting us against each other, right? Mm-hmm. Because if they can keep the family broken up, right? If they can keep the family broken up and keep our men being emasculated and being effeminized by these single mother homes. I mean, as try as you might, as hard as you want to work, sisters, I do understand that, hey, y'all try your hardest to raise the brothers, but a woman cannot raise a man. That's just the bottom line. The woman cannot raise a man. And y'all are really stressing the brothers out over here. Y'all stressing the brothers out. Number one, y'all don't want to submit to the brothers. They had to have this, that, and the third for you to submit, but that's not a requirement in the scriptures. You're supposed to be under submission off the top. Number two, right? Other than that, y'all are, just with this divestment culture, right? Y'all are going over. Y'all are, y'all have swirling. Y'all have whole campaigns and camps that y'all talk about brothers. Trying to down, the Israelite man, right? To try to make us seem less than, to try to go along with the heathen, when all the other nations on the earth, what do they strive to be after? If it's not the so-called albino man, they going after the Israelite man. They ain't going after no damn Africans or any other, any other nations, right? And the brothers that tend to divest, y'all gonna get destroyed. I hate to say it, that's wickedness for y'all brothers, doing that kind of thing. But at the same time, these brothers are going towards women that are more feminine. They tend to be submissive. Brothers don't want women that are not submissive. You know what I'm saying? So what they try to do is, this is when you look at this divestment culture, you see that all those 90% of the men are heathens that these women are divested against. They are the leader. They are ruling over them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just the situation. They can't do it in the black community. They can't do it in the Israelite community. So they go over and then they try to go over and they try to do it in a community where against weaker nations. And we already know that among all the nations on the earth, we're the greatest and we're the strongest. Even though, because it took an act of God to put us under submission under these heathen. It took an act of God. I want y'all to think about that. It took the act of God, right, to put us under submission with these heathen. All right.
So, and you see, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I was about to read Judges 21.
Okay, and just to bring up a point that you brought out, brother, about the whole government pitting ourselves against one another, and that is facts, y'all. And you look how now I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Our women are the only nation of people where they would say a strong black woman, and we're not separately like that. You don't hear Asians going around saying I'm a strong Asian woman. You don't hear Mexican woman, I'm a strong Mexican woman, I'm a strong white woman. You don't hear that. It's only our people. But where did that come from? It came from the idea of what the heathens had pushed into our communities. Same thing with drugs. Same thing with the prisons. 3 strikes, you're out, right? And so they had a number. See, there's a lot of moving pieces in this thing because they know they can't kill us off. So now what can they do? They're going to create all these different devices and push them into our people. Let's get the Israelite brothers and the Israelite sisters to go to war with one another. Let's get them to hate one another. Right there, you destroyed our power, because if we have our women in our corner, if we have our women that has our back 100%, I mean, when I say 100%, I mean everything that that we command that they do, and brothers, if you're keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes, and if you're following these laws and everything, women, I'm seriously, if a man is following these laws, you don't have to worry about a man not treating you like a queen. Because if a man truly fears, and I know a lot of women are worried about that. Like, well, what if the man starts being abusive and this and this and that? You don't. That's why you don't just get with any brother out there. Until you realize. But you have to eventually get with somebody, because the way the scriptures teach in the Torah, brothers and sisters, that a woman has to have a head. There's just no other way around it. All right. but just getting back to how the government and how the system has pitted ourselves against one another. They used all these devices to throw in there to get us doing it, and they're doing a hell of a job.
They're doing one hell of a job. Like this brother, just like this brother right here says, I wonder if the heathens took away their financial support, would our beautiful sisters turn back towards us brothers? Now, see, that is like Brother Daniel was just saying, we have a lot of moving parts, right? Mm-hmm. The heathen are doing everything that they possibly can to break up our families, even at the expense of losing their own families, and losing some of their own, right? Now we know this, this nation is already set up for them. So it's no point in you wandering around crying, trying to be equal, right? That's not at any point. What we need to do is worry about ourselves, as the Israelite nation, and what we have to go through. Now, what we do have is a problem is that the government, they have come in and they give our sisters, right? They give them child support, and things of that nature from sisters decide to detract. Now, I'm not saying not all the time. It's not always, you hear these stories about brothers being bad and this, that, and the third, right? But, just to reinforce what Brother Daniel was saying, whenever you first get with someone, right, there's always that shine, that light, you as a woman, and I've dated in the past, they always willing to do what the man says. They're willing to obey. They're willing to be submissive, to be feminine, right? In the beginning, they're willing to be that way, right? But then as time goes on, right, after they seem to know you, the more and more they know you, that comes away. You know what I'm saying? That starts to, they feel like they want to run the show, or they feel like that they have some type of say. That's not how it goes, right? In the scriptures, you should always supposed to reverence your man. That means that you're supposed to treat them the same way you treat your boss at work. You always have respect for them. You don't get out of line. You know what I'm saying? Because you have your livelihood on the line. It's the exact same thing with the brothers. Mm-hmm. Now, I wonder, I don't think personally, if you didn't get no child support and, if you act a donkey and then, you just, the woman just got kicked out with nothing and, she don't get no children. She don't get any of that. Just like it was in the scriptures, a woman starts Salakia, right? Doing stuff that the brother doesn't like, and he put her away, right? When that happened, she didn't get nothing. You don't get no child support. You don't get no, what's that called? Alimony, or you don't get any kind of help. You got to hit the road. And see, I think that without that right there, because now these sisters think they have a safety net, and they're not really forced to try to get along. They're not really forced to try to want to make things work with the brothers, with the brothers. And see, and I think that in itself, it helps that divestment culture grow even more, because they think that the grass is greener on the other side, when we just seen that the heathen, man, they're even worse. They'll rather kill you than let you go. They'll rather I mean, if you go and you look at that Chronicles on that brother's channel now, and I don't care if he's married to a Mexican or whatnot. I just want you just to look at the stories of the sisters that are telling their stories there, right? It is absolutely a horror story, right? Which means that, you know, this things are starting to grow because we got sisters out here that are telling, oh, you know, these niggas ain't shit, you know, so forth and so forth, you know, whatever they say to try to steer you away from your own counterpart, right? You know, now as more reports and, you know, different things are taking off, we see that the truth is starting to come back. Well, somewhat, some kind of semblance of it, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Our sisters, they realize they're losing, right? They're out here, right, and they're essentially creating the same problems that they're you know, that they're complaining about. It's lucky about not having a man in the home. And if we can work in that as a community, as you know, awakened brothers and sisters, you know, I mean, and I hate to use that phrase woke, but you know, brothers and sisters that keep the law, statutes, and commandments, that have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We as a people, you know, we have the responsibility to show our other brothers and sisters when they are going off in this divestment culture of you know, how wicked it is and how we can easily get destroyed, you know. And a lot of that this stems from lust, you know, lust, the wickedness. You know, you know, when people have a lust, they lust for things usually they're not supposed to have, right? You know, like a person that's a cigarette smoker, you know, he wants to quit smoking cigarette, but he lusts after the cigarette. He knows it's bad for him, but it's a lust after him. You know, it's something that they want to do and they can't control themselves, right? When you let that kind of when you let that kind of demon get inside you, you lose the ability to control that because you strayed away from the Most High. 9 times out of 10, when that kind of spirits gets on you, you're out of the Bible, right? You're not treating your brothers you want to be treated. You know, you're putting things into your mind that is wickedness, that is, you know, promote other thoughts of wickedness. It's just continually having you to go off, right? But like Brother Daniel, you know, and I was saying that we really wanted to talk to you sisters because we want you to know that the Most High, he judges y'all harshly, right? As you see, he did with Miriam, right? You know, the sisters are judged more harshly than the brothers because it seems like if you guys don't want to, you know, follow what the brothers say, then the Most High, he doesn't care. Or even if y'all are going along with some wickedness that was going on, like the women of Benjamin at this time, right? Because they were in all kind of homosexuality and sleeping with the heathen, that the Most High pretty much had destroyed all of them. All of the children of Benjamin were destroyed. All of the women of Benjamin were destroyed. So I just wanted to read this, though. I want you guys to understand that the Most High, he ain't playing games, right? Especially with your sisters, right? All right, it goes. Now the men of Israel have sworn in Mizpah, saying, "There shall not any of us give his daughter unto Benjamin to wife," right? Because the Most High destroyed damn near all the Benjamin for being wicked as hell, like I was explaining earlier, right? And the people came to the house of God and abode there till even before God and lifted up their voices and wept sore. Slakia, Israel, coming down with a cold, right? It said, "O Lord God of Israel, why has this come to pass in Israel, that there should be today one tribe lacking in Israel?" And it came on the morrow, and it came to pass on the morrow that the people rose early and built there an altar. The day Salakia built them an altar and burnt offerings of peace, offerings and peace offerings. And the children of Israel said, "Who is there among all the tribes of Israel that came not up with the congregation unto the Lord? For they have made a great oath concerning him that came not up unto the Lord to Mizpah, saying, He shall surely be put to death." And the children of Israel repented them for Benjamin their brother, and they said, "There is one tribe cut off from Israel this day. How shall we do for wives that them that remain," right? Because there was only a few Benjamites remaining at this time, right? "Seeing that we have sworn by the Lord that we will not give them our daughters to wives," right? Because you could intermarry, right? Sporadically, but you know, it was something that was permitted. But the Most High had commanded the people not to give them any of the daughters of Israel, none to Benjamin, right? Because it was wicked as hell. And so, and they said, "There is one is there of the tribes of Israel that came not up to Mizpah of the Lord, and behold, there came none of the camp to Japhsiligiad." I can't pronounce that right now. To the assembly, for the people were numbered, and behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there, and the congregation sent 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, "Go and smite the inhabitants of Gilgispias with the edge of the sword, and the women and the children. And this thing that ye shall do, ye shall utterly destroy every male a woman that has lain by man, right? So just to skip down, right? These were brothers. They was going out there and they were going to kill these folks, right? And they were going to give the women to Benjamin, right? And the whole congregation and sons speak to children of Benjamin that were in the rock of Rimmon, called peaceful. And Benjamin came, lock it. And Benjamin came at that time and gave them wives, right? And Benjamin came again at that time, and they gave them wives, which they had saved alive of women of Jalbagishagad or Jabesh Gilead, right? So I want you to understand that first, that all the women were destroyed, right? And so the rest of the tribes of Israel, right, they went out and they got women for Benjamin, right? Because the Most High had commanded that the women from the other tribes were not to be given to Benjamin, right? And the people repented them for Benjamin, right? The people are the other Israelites, the other 11 tribes, because the Lord has made a breach in the tribe of Israel. Then the elders of the congregation sent some to speak to the children of Benjamin that would they called Salakia. I don't know, I keep getting lost. Okay, and the people repented them for Benjamin because that the Lord had made a breach in the tribes of Israel. Then the elders of the congregation said, how shall we do for wives for them that seeing remaining, seeing that the women are destroyed out of Benjamin, right? So we have some Israelite men left, some Benjamite men left. But what did the Most High do to all the Benjamite women? He destroyed all of them, to the point that what? That the Most High had to get women from another tribe, you know what I'm saying, another whole from Shiloh, right? And I'm gonna read it right here. So you see that the Most High, he decided to, you know what, all the women were wicked in Benjamin, you know, doing something they weren't supposed to, so I'm gonna just kill them all, and I'm gonna let the men live, and I'm gonna start over with just the men, right? I want you sisters to keep that in mind. The Most High ain't playing no games with y'all, right? Isaiah 4:1 should tell y'all that, right? And so it says, when we said, and they said, there must be an inheritance for them that be escaped of Benjamin, that a tribe be not destroyed out of Israel. Howbeit, that we may not give them wives of our daughters, for the children of Israel have sworn, saying, cursed be the he that giveth the wife to Benjamin. Then they said, behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh, yearly in a place which is on the north side of Bethel, and on the east side of the highway that goeth up to Bethel to Shechem, and on the south side of Lebanon. Therefore, they commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, go and lie in wait in the vineyards, right? And see and behold that the daughters of Shiloh come out to the dance and dances. Then come ye out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go into the land of Benjamin. Right. So none of these were Benjamite women. Right. And so the Most High, actually, he allowed the men, like, and you see how the Most High, you know, treats the women in this particular situation. Right. Those women, even though they're women from Shiloh, Salakia, right? Those women from Shiloh, Most High said, just go grab them. You know, go and grab you and get you a wife, right? There's no you know, there's no permission. There's no I'm courting you. Nah. You just go in there and go ahead and snatch you one, and that's yours. Sisters, you have to realize the position that the Most High has got y'all in. It is not the strong black woman. It is a submissive sister underneath a righteous dictatorship that a brother that's following the laws, statutes, and commandments is doing. And even if the brother is going off, right, and not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, just like we see with Moses, just as you just got to to try to help that man, you know, pray for that man, you know, and do things of that nature. You don't go to divestment culture. You don't get mad and have things of that nature, you know, and dip off and you know, go to another brother. Man, you can't do that. That's wicked as hell, right? You're going to be destroyed when the Most High comes back. There's one man for every woman. That's just what it is. You can't be out here getting a lot of bodies, you know, doing all that. I mean, man, when you read the scriptures, what does it talk about? It talks about virgins and their first husbands. All the sisters that we see in there, they're righteous as hell. They're righteous. These are righteous sisters that have even Deborah, right? The judge. She went home and she answered to her man. She was married. Right? Every woman that you see in the scriptures that's righteous is a married woman that was not having a lot of bodies. And I know that might come you know, that might not feel good to hear those words, because I know we've made mistakes in our lifetime. No one's perfect, and that's why we have the gift of grace, that we can repent. But repenting, that means you know, I don't give a damn what Kevin Samuel says or any of that stuff. Hey man, you know, you're not supposed to be out there sleeping with nobody. Yeah, you know, if you're not with your baby daddy or you're not with the man that you divorced, you don't get no man. You repent, you get in them scriptures, and you spread the gospel to the other sisters, right, Brother Daniel?
A quiet woman and a loving woman is a gift from the Most High. See, and the Most High does not change. And this whole submissive thing has totally become obsolete with a lot of our women. Why? It's because the heathens, again, have pushed the feminine movement for years. And so when we look at the scriptures, when we look at the Torah, we see how the women were submissive. It's nothing, it's a far, let me tell you something. It's such a far cry from what is going on right now. It's like what happened in the past and how women, it's like a whole nother dimension because the things that we're witnessing right now is like if I could describe a word to describe against the Most High, it would be so devastating. I can't even think of a word that is so devastating. And this whole divestment thing is backfiring like crazy because a lot of our women who are divesting to these other nations are being killed at their hands. And so that's just a testimony of this thing backfiring. I'm gonna tell you something, brothers and sisters. When you go against the Most High, don't expect the results that you think you're going to get, because anytime you go against the Most High, it's going to always result in death. When when the Most High told Adam, you know, and Eve, do not eat of every tree in the garden you may eat, but not of the tree of good knowledge and evil. You know, and the serpent, not the devil, the serpent who could speak along with the other animals, you know, tricked Eve, and so she thought the grass was greener on the other side, so thought that she would take a bite. See, and this is the same thing that our women are doing today. You know, they talking about this divesting stuff, and they says, "Oh, you know, that sounds so good. I bet you this white man would treat me better than a black man." But see, this is what the society wants you to believe. But I'm gonna tell you something. When you're dealing with a people that don't have a soul, y'all, they will kill you. All right, these people do not like us. Just because they, you know, and these people are even worse, you know. And but see, that's what society paints. The society paints these heathens as righteous and good, and our people go along with that stuff. You know the old saying, you know, if it's white, it's you know, you're all right. Black, get back. So we've been brainwashed to believe that lighter and whiter is better, and these women and the brothers also fall for it because in their minds it's self hatred. So they feel like, well, if I get with this white rich dude, my life is going to be a whole lot better, and I ain't got to worry about no broke ass man. That's their mindset, you know. And it's sad. And they don't even realize the history and the science behind why our brothers are in the situation that they are. But yeah, you're gravitating towards the very people that hate us and the very people that set up these devices to destroy the black man in the first place. And they got you head sprung.
Con.
You're
Now,
sad.
I see what is this? Shira 12:12, right? All right. Now, I see you're a tad bit salty, and you know that's okay, right? So what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna stop going over these fairy tales, and we're gonna talk about the facts. Now, you say, what we got up here? Okay, can you address the 7 out of 10 black men choosing to date interracial? Now that's a lie, right? Now we see right here, and we count in marriages over here, right? Now, and if you want to look up, right, and you want to see why brothers are choosing other nations. Now, as wicked as may be, now not everybody's in the truth, right? Not everybody's in the truth. Now I'm speaking as far as the things that are come from the world, right? As the things that come from the world, y'all sisters are not getting along with nobody. That's why it's y'all have a 75%. I mean, y'all have a 25% marriage rate, which means y'all only 1 out of 4 get married because no one's a strong black woman. We have a lot of attitude problems. We don't have women that are not submissive, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature, right? So when we're looking at this thing, right, and you say that, oh, it says 85% have a black wife, a black man who married, that means 15%, right? 15% of black men married heathens. So what are you talking about the 7 out of 10 black men? That's a lie. Like,
And
please
that's a
don't
lie, and that's a lie that society has pushed to our people.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I swear I'll block you, right? Because I'm not here on that. If you don't have any facts, if you're coming up with stuff that's made up, I don't want to hear that. And look at that. We have said 93% of black women who married, right? That's a small percentage, right? They have a black husband. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why do we have 15% more, heathen women than we do, you know what I'm saying, that's here? Number one, just like I told y'all before, right? Nobody's choosing black women. The only men that y'all have is the Israelite man. And you know what? And the Israelite man, we're getting tired of the attitudes. We're getting tired of the things. You have to look at, let's say, even if you say, yes, the man is the head, the man does this, the man does that, right? These are the facts. We have a lot of the most dangerous place for a black man to be is in a black woman's stomach, right? Because we get aborted at high rates, right? That's the leading killer of black males, of black on black crimes. If you want to talk about black on black crime, that's the leading killer. Is our sisters. Y'all kill us the most, right? That's who kills the black man the most. Is the sisters. That's a problem, right? We need to fix that, right? But we want to talk about accountability and how this is, it's no other body's fault but y'all's, right? You know what I'm saying? This is something you cannot blame the black man for. If you decide that you want to sleep with someone, you cannot blame the Israelite man for that. Sure, man, he may talk you into something, whatever, but if he's not raping you and he's not personally taking it from you, what does that have to do with? You know what I'm saying? That's your fault. Keep your legs closed. Every sister knows that if she sleeps with a man and all of a sudden that she feel like that brother don't want to deal with her, she feels some type of way. That's why there's so many bitter baby mamas, so much problems, and so many emotional hardships that we have in our people. Is because they feel some type of way. Because guess what? You know what? That Pookie was not worth it. Keep your legs closed. Be a virgin. What's wrong with that? Stop twerking in the clubs. Stop being ratchet. Stop being wicked as hell. It's not the black man's fault that you out there being wicked as hell. Guess what? If you were to keep your damn legs closed, right? Stop twerking. Stop wearing all kinds of craziness. Stop being like the heathen. What would that do? That would force the black man to get in line. Like I said, the women create the culture of the community. If we got y'all raising the children up, y'all don't want to submit to the brothers. Y'all want to do everything that the heathen allows y'all to do because it's just there and it allows y'all to do it. We're not gonna get nowhere.
And why do you think society has put the favor in the women? Think about it, y'all. Think about it. I want y'all to really think about this now. 9 times out of 10, when a black woman and a black man get a divorce, whatever, who normally gets the kids? It's always women who are the courts in favor of it. There's a reason for that, y'all. I'm not just saying this to just to be saying this. This is facts, and you can look up the statistics because it was always designed to make sure to take the man out the picture. That was the whole point. And so, the favor, that's what welfare, perfect example. Now, I heard a question on here. Somebody said that what if they took away the assistance for the women? Would they turn back to the men? They would have no other choice. But the government's not going to do that because as long as the government will give assistance, they're not going to never stop. They're never going to stop giving welfare to the women because that is right there so key to keep the Israelite man out the home. So what makes you think that they're going to do that? So the society has put the favor into the hands of the women, and I'll challenge anyone to debunk that, because it's the facts. Even you women would have to agree with that, that society has put the favor into the woman's hands, especially when it comes to child support and welfare. I've never met a single brother on welfare. I mean, I'm not saying that there is, but I haven't not met a brother out there, a single brother on welfare with kids, because if he has his kids, he's working. Not once have I met any brothers with kids who are raising kids by themselves on welfare. I haven't seen it.
Look at this, right? Isaiah 3, right? Isaiah 3 and 12. This is this is such a true, true scripture, especially according to the times that we're in right now. It says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors." Right? You got these young knuckleheads running around, right, oppressing the old folks. Right? Nobody listens to the elders anymore. Right? We have a lot of these young children. They think they know it all. Young know-it-alls. They're listening to Nicki Minaj and Lil Nas X and all kind of wickedness that they got for our people out here, right? Especially for our people, how they target us, right? It says children are their oppressors and women rule over them, right? You know why it says women rule over them? This goes back to the single parent home. Yeah. We have women ruling over our men. There's no men in the house, right? So the way that these men are coming up and they're acting is what? Is effeminate. Right? This is why the children are the oppressors. It's because the women are ruling over them. And if you don't, and what does it say? That the woman is not supposed to what? Usurp authority over the man. It says, "Oh, my people, they," we're talking about the women, "which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths." And it keeps on going on. And then you see we're definitely talking about the daughters of Zion. It says, "Moreover, the Lord says, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing and they go and making a tinkling with their feet." That's the sisters that we have today. If that's not the sisters that we have today, I don't know what is.
And that prophecy right there hits home hard for us. Look, the Most High is powerful, y'all. He knows what he's doing, and the Most High has nothing to play with. So if we think that we can just do our own thing with this divestment, if we think that stuff's going to really work, and if you women think that's going to work, you got another thing coming. Because, like I said, the thing is backfiring like crazy. And I don't see too many people addressing that. They're pushing it, but now they're not addressing it because now that these women are being killed by the hands of their oppressors, it's like, okay, you still gonna push that stuff? Now they're starting to realize, well, okay, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. It was too late because so many people are still doing it.
Shira 1212. Here, there's a link for you to come on if you want to defend your point. And let me because you got a lot to say on the comment board. And so you're more than welcome to come online right here and state your purpose.
Come on.
I want to hear
just be respectful.
Let's see what you're talking about. All right. So just be respectful, because if you're not respectful, we're gonna go ahead and boot you off. All right, but you come on here, go ahead and state your purpose. State what you're state what you said. We'll give you the floor. We'll let you talk about something. Because I want to see how it's the brother's fault that you got your legs open. Explain that to me. I want to see how the brother's fault is that you done slept with Pookie and Ray Ray, and you over here having sex before marriage. I want to know how that's the brother's fault that you decided to open up your legs. So
click on the link and come on in.
Right? You know what I'm saying? We have a history of sisters, of just the women period going off doing what they want to ever since the garden. So what we have to do is we have to accept realities. What we as a people don't do, we don't accept realities.
And if you would have been here earlier, we've already addressed the brothers. We told you why the brothers are in the situation that they're in. We told you how the system has mutilated and emasculated them to the point, and this is why the brothers are the way they are. So no, we're not excusing the brothers, but you got to understand the science and the history behind what's happening to the brothers, because the war is not against the sisters. Let me repeat that again. The war is not against the women. It's against the black men, y'all. That's what the war is against. They want the women to be successful. They want the women to live on their own, be single, raise their children by themselves. They don't want the black men raising their black children, because nobody on this earth can raise a black child like a black man. So to this woman named, whatever her name is, Shira 1212.
Yeah, like Shira, like that He-Man joint.
Yeah, you seem like you have a lot to say, but I can tell you're very ignorant, and you don't understand the whole science behind the whole thing. You probably, I don't know, but
but you know what though, brother? This is the kind of thinking that most of our sisters have. This is the kind of thinking that most of our sisters have.
But then the fact that you're not coming on lets me know you could probably be a heathen or you could be a troll. I don't know. So come show your face so we can see what you look like. So make sure that you are a true daughter of Zion. Then we'll let you speak your point.
That's
But
right.
if you don't want to come on and click the link, then you don't have nothing. You don't have no business putting any comments in the comment board.
Yeah, I already put it on timeout. I was just annoyed.
Yeah.
Apologies, Salakia, right? But you know, but you can
She
still
got the
come
link.
on.
She can still click on the link
Yeah,
though.
con all day. You can
Yeah.
definitely click on the link. Now this isn't for the awakened sisters. The sisters that keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Hey, we honor and we treasure. You know what I'm saying? We treasure you sisters. We are extremely happy to have you sisters in the faith to help fight this war that we have. Just like brother saying, just like brother Daniel was saying, this is not. The war isn't, against you sisters. The war is against the men of Israel.
It is.
It's because but they're using you guys. You know what I'm saying? They giving you all these little trinkets and ornaments. They're not really giving you nothing. And you see all these commercials with black girl power and all of this stuff. That is a trope, right? For feminism to get y'all to get separated from the black man. But instead of fighting against it and saying that, hey, you know what, I want to be I want to stay with my brothers, and I detest this, hey, put the brothers up, this, that, and the fourth. You know what I mean? Like, y'all not supposed to want the forefront. The sisters are not supposed to want the lead, but that's what y'all want to do. Y'all want to be in the forefront. Y'all want all the contracts. Y'all want all the stuff that's going on. Y'all want to be CEOs and all of this stuff of businesses that y'all didn't build, right? I don't know where this notion of insanity has come from, right? This notion has led our people to destruction, and it's further leading our people down a hole of just pure lostness and destruction, right?
And again, this war is against the men. Why? Because the elites know that the Israelite men are the head of the home. You take that away, you destroy the whole family.
Right? Man, you see these sisters that go in these establishments and get beat up by these heathen, like we're having this going on from before, where they were going in these weave shops, right? You know what I'm saying? And then the heathen was in there beating their ass when they was going in there, right? That's wicked as hell, right? Why are you in the heathen shop, number one, buying heathen hair when you have the hair of the Most High? You see how y'all just like it's like you don't see brothers out here perming their hair really like that. You know what I'm saying? Most brothers, most of the brothers that y'all see are natural. They have their own hair, they rock their own style, they try to do that, right? But when you see our sisters, Salakia, everything they do is try to emulate the damn heathen.
That's right.
The heathen woman, right? They want straight hair. They want you know what I'm saying, they want the same style. They want to get you know what I'm saying, they want their skin showing, and they want to be like these wicked ass heathen instead of doing what? Right? A matter of fact, I was watching this video a couple of days ago, but I think it was these women in India, right? These women in India were they were all being they were out there at some parade, but the women, they were all modest apparel. They were dressed in modest apparel, right? And the woman was like, look around at the men. You know what I'm saying? You can see lust in their eyes. It's because they view us as candy canes because we're all covered up, and they use their imagination to imagine to what was going on under there. Now, those women were dressed, and they weren't whores and harlots, right? As far as to my knowledge, right? They were dressed respectfully. They had and they were being chased. But you can see that, even if you're being like that, right, that's going to still that's going to make it so brothers are still going to be attracted to you, but that's going to bring a different type of attraction, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're out there and you're putting on, just like I say, right? If I was not a police officer and I had on a police officer outfit and somebody's running for, and somebody's screaming for help, and they'll look at me and they will think that what I'm the person that's supposed to give them help because I'm dressed like that particular person. It's the same thing I say for sisters, right? Y'all can only, if you dress a certain way, you're gonna get a certain type of attention, right? So it really behooves you to keep the commandments in all facets of it, right? Stick with your own people, right? Keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? You know what I'm saying? Your behavior shouldn't be predicated off of what somebody else does. Unless it's like a life and death situation. Of course, if somebody's trying to kill you, then self-defense, things of that nature. But but if that brother decided that he don't want to do this or do that for you, or so forth and so on, that doesn't mean that you don't still do what you're supposed to be doing. Whatever the brother has got laid out for you in the household as being the leader. You know what I mean? You still have to keep up with your duties. If you don't, you know what that is? Do you think that you're just bucking against him? Or no, that's sin. Because the scriptures command women to do what? To obey their man. So if you don't obey the man, then you're in sin. It don't matter if the man tell you to pick up a piece of rice off the ground, right? If you don't pick up that rice, you're in sin because you didn't keep the commandments by obeying your man. You see what I'm saying? And I hate to say that word like obey, like it's like, oh man, obey. No, I'm not meaning like that, but it's a benevolent dictatorship. It's not you don't have partners, you don't have equality. No, it's not. It's none of that. It's one head, and y'all are once we get down to it, we all have the same goals at the end. Hey man, when you get older, hey man, you want to chill out. You want to try to enjoy the rest of your old years that you have left on this earth and keep the commandments.
That's right.
If you and your partner, if she has a career and then you have a career, y'all going in two separate directions. You're never going to be able to come together, to make one plan to get y'all both to the same destination. Y'all always going to have the same destination no matter what. Everybody's goal is to chill out and have enough. So, when they get old, they can retire and chill out for the rest of their life. Everybody pretty much has the same goals. It's how you get there, right? You can't be selfish and be like, well, I think that I want to do this and I want to do that. Hey, the only way you can do your own thing if your man says, you know what, sweetheart, since you done did this, that, and the third, and I think it'll be better. Hey, yeah, cool. Go ahead and handle that. I'll handle this, right? Yeah, but you can't get upset if because he's handling everything. If you're making $100,000 to $200,000 a year, and you married a man that's only making $60,000 a year, he gets to control all that money. I know that sucks. I know that doesn't even sound right, but that's the head, And even if he Lord forbid he mess it all up, but are you supposed to squirrel away things and then try to plan for eventualities in case he messed stuff up? No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to have total 100% faith in your man. If you feel like he's going off, what you're supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be praying to the Most High, fix him. That's where you go. You don't go do your own thing. Brother Daniel?
Yeah, hey, so I'm looking at the comments. We want to give y'all some time to come on here because we want to make sure that you guys have time as well, too. So if there's any brothers out there, any sisters out there that may have an issue with this, that may want to come on and then, respectfully try to disagree, to see, so we can explain the points to you. This is the time to come on. So we want to kind of just give this floor to you all to come on and everything. So if you have any questions pertaining to this discussion, this lesson, then go ahead and put it in the comment box because this is important. And we need to know the order because the Most High does not change. And when he comes back and gathers us in the wilderness, guess what? We're gonna have to pass under the rod. And he says he's gonna purge out the rebels. And when he says purge out the rebels, he's not just talking about the men. These sisters are bucking up and everything, y'all. It ain't gonna be no joke.
Like the kind of spirit you don't want to have is like the sister Shira 12:12. That's the kind of spirit you don't want. She was combative, argumentative, right? Those like dealing with a sister like that. If a brother's not in the truth, that's going to turn brothers into what? Into the heathens. Going to go and try to mess with the heathen. And you complaining about brothers going to the heathens or whatnot. Or that's not going to make a brother want to deal with you. You know what I mean? It says that there's supposed to be peace. It's supposed to be peace. But our sister's supposed to be a peace to a brother, right? So if he comes home and then, you know, she's always questioning and got all kind of craziness going on instead of that can do spirit, you know, brothers ain't trying to deal with that.
What it's almost said, it's better to be on a rooftop than than a nagging woman, you know. And that's a prime example and everything. Women are not supposed to be like that. Women are supposed to be, you know, supportive because, you know, quiet, loving, and supporting the man. I'm not saying that you can't have talks and disagreements and things like that, but you know, there's a difference between being this complete idiot, you know, just being loud and boisterous and trying to be the man, because a lot of our women do have that man spirit in them. And what I mean by that man spirit is that because of what brother read in Isaiah chapter 3, you know, women shall rule over them. And so now you have the women having to be men because now the men's out the home again, the war being against the men, but yet the men are getting blamed for everything. So go do your research, y'all. I mean, it's not rocket scientists.
Kind of, we're not saying it's 100% the woman's fault, because, you know, the men do choose to try to fornicate, or they do choose to try to do things that are not scriptural. However, right, if you women will just stop that would break the habits. Let's say, for example, people wouldn't smoke if there's no cigarettes available. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so you know, if there's no sex available, right, until you get married, then brother's going to stop trying to have sex with you. It's simple, you know, because how you think we were doing in the old days? We had virgins that stayed with their dad and they married, and they so forth and so on. You know why? Because they wasn't giving up. They wasn't giving it up. Sisters was saying no because they were righteous, 10 times more righteous than the sisters that we have today, that just will let her brother convince them up to giving it away.
And let me address something right quick. To Z Yehuda. So let me make something really clear. It says you guys shouldn't use your platform to badmouth people. There's no badmouth going on here. We're giving you the facts. Look, we don't have time to play with wickedness. The Most High does not play with wickedness. The Most High tells us that we need to hate wickedness. So this is in correction. So be it known that this is nothing to play with. Nobody's badmouthing anyone. Anyone she had a chance to come on to prove whatever she wanted to debunk, she could have done that. She didn't do it. So that is not bad mouthing. So be careful what you speak of, because, you know, the Most High is nothing to play with. And we don't have time to play with the wickedness. We don't have time to play with the foolishness. All right. We are here to, you know, eradicate this madness that's going on. And to expose.
And you see this, right? It's always you sisters is bucking up. Notice we don't got no brothers is bucking up. It's always the sisters. That's why. It's the same thing, right? If you are a true, if you really keep the commandments, right, and you truly believe in the Most High, you should be on our side and rebuking that sister and being like, hey, you know, what you're doing is wicked as hell, and then you need to get your attitude right. But instead, what you doing, you siding with wickedness.
So
Z Yehuda on there.
So Z Yehuda, what are you going to do if the women buck up and all of a sudden fire comes down and destroys them right before your eyes? Are you going to accuse the Most High of misjudgment? Or are you going to accuse the Most High of being mean? You know what I'm saying? You go read through the Torah. I mean, you look how the Most High dealt with our people. Mm-hmm. Now, we're not the Most High. We're not that kind of authority. But the Bible does tell us that we must, it's true, we must hate evil. All right. So who we got on here? We got Nikan Binya.
Yeah, I wanted to bring the scripture out real quick. I'm gonna I want to bring the scripture out dealing with Miriam, right?
Okay, go ahead.
What was it? I think it's Numbers 21, if I'm not mistaken. Numbers 21, right? And I just want to show you something, right? This is you know, this has been a habit of our sisters for a long time. Now I'm gonna show you something, right? Even we need the sisters, right, to have a more can-do and a more submissive spirit. Okay, like right here, right? We're gonna go to Numbers 12 and Salaki. That's Salaki. I'm supposed to get Numbers 12. That's Numbers 21. All right, that's what I was looking like. All right, Numbers 12 and 1. Right, I want you guys to see that. It says and Miriam and Aaron, right? And Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman which he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. Now Aaron, which is a man, right? He spoke against it, right? Now when Miriam tried to buck up, right, and tried to say something, let's see what happens. See, this is why I'm telling you that your sisters are not the same, and it's not the same category, right? Your sisters are not in the same category as as the brothers, right? It says, let's just see what happens, right? Now, Aaron spoke against Moses too. They both spoke against Moses, right? Miriam and Moses. This is why it's not the same. We have to adhere to the order, right? It says, let's see what happens, right? Let me see. All right, taking time. All right, here we go. Let me see. Oh, so Slovakia. Okay, here we go. Right, and the anger of the Lord, right? So remember what I said, right? Both of them had said and spoke against the Most High. I mean, both of them had spoke against Moses, right? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. Right, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Did anything happen to Aaron for speaking out against Moses? No. Right, the Most High just decided, Hamashiach decided just to overlook Aaron and concentrate on the woman. Man, how dare you speak against Moses? Didn't do nothing to Aaron though, but let's see what else happened that the Most High got tired of it. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, he don't play with the women like that. So not only did the he said, well, you know what? I'm a make her a leper. Boom, hit her upside the head with leprosy, right? And behold, she was a leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us. Where you see that says sin upon us. That's plural. Us is plural, meaning that Aaron had went through the same thing that she did. You understand that Aaron went the same thing that she did. That's why it says upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, which I was saying earlier, right? When we're bringing up in Numbers that, the other scripture that the Most High, what did he do with the Benjamites? He killed all the Benjamite women. He don't deal with them like that, right? The men are the Most High's, his priority, right? And it says, and wherein we have sinned, let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh of half is consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father, now, this is what the Lord said. Now, after Moses and Aaron, they both forgave Miriam. They was like, hey, God, hey, man, it's okay. Don't go hard on her like that. You know what I mean? It's all, it's all good. She didn't mean nothing by it. Right? The Lord ain't done yet. He said, nah. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, she should not be ashamed 7 days. Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be received in again. You see that? The Most High kicked her butt out the camp for 7 days, on top of giving her leprosy, just for speaking against Moses. What about Aaron? Anything happened to him? Hell no. Nothing happened to Aaron. He was cool. He was chilling. Right? So the order must be respected because the Most High respects the order. As you see. We're going to bring Brother Benya on. Shalom,
hey, what's going on? Shalom, brother.
Shalom, man.
What you got for us?
Oh, man, I just wanted to reiterate and touch on this subject, man. It's a hot one you guys got going, man.
Oh yeah, brother.
All right.
What I think, is one of our biggest problem is we as a whole, man, as a nation, we need to all account for our own problems. Therefore, we can all come together. The men have issues and the women have issues because the heathen running the same old tactics that they always did. It started way back in the garden with the serpent. Mm-hmm. If you want to get to the man, you go through the woman. That's right. The same game they still running today.
That's absolutely.
Same old game they running. But the sisters, they're not seeing it. because they're just starstruck with the fact that they can actually get ahead, and that's the thing that Eve pretty much wanted to do herself. So they get the finances, they get the support and everything, and now what they're doing is reversing roles in the home. You're putting the men on the back burner, and they're promoting the women, giving the sisters all the money, the higher paying jobs. They're giving it all to them. Welfare, those who haven't got the education and skills, they give them welfare. And just like y'all say, you can't have that man in that home. And what's gonna happen to that boy you trying to raise up to be a man? They gonna get him because they got private prisons now. And when that boy grew up in rebellion to that mother, because the daddy is out the home, you know what she gonna say? Oh, your daddy wasn't nothing, and you wasn't nothing, and you ain't gonna be, you know what I'm saying, this and that. That's why he there. But now you took the bait and ran with it. That's basically what's going on with a lot of our sisters. You know, we have a big problem going on, but they are going through the women to break down us brothers.
And see, the reason why they don't, and the reason why they don't see it, brother, like you were stating, is because you look how society is ran today, right? It's all about money. So our people, and even the brothers, we've been chasing after this whole money thing so long, and especially our sisters, especially like when you said, given opportunities to proceed like that, and so they're blinded by the ways of the oppressors, of the heathens. So they don't look at, and I explained earlier that if the women understood the science behind why the brothers are in this situation, where the war has always been against the Israelite men, it's always, and I would challenge anyone to prove otherwise. If the war is against the women, yes, the Bible says that we are hated among all nations. Yes, our women are hated too, but when it comes to favoritism towards society, the women gets the favoritism and the men get the stricter punishment. Why? Because they know that the man is the power. They know that the man is the head of this home. He is the source of the power of that family. So when you remove that man, you emasculate him and everything, turn him into a feminist, then guess what? He doesn't have the confidence to rule his home. Absolutely. Therefore, the woman has to step up and become the man in a sense and do these things. So that's why the order has been heavily, heavily broken, man. It's crazy. I've never, I grew up in the 70s now, and I remember a time where you saw just strong Israelite families, black families, the man at the head, taking care of his family and his kids, being a provider and everything. In my years, I've seen a complete 360. I've never in my life thought that I would see things in the situation that I see now with just masses of our women, unfortunately, on the government assistance and raising kids by themselves. And, and we say, okay, a lot of brothers do, leave out on their kids and everything, and they're gonna be judged for that. But you have to look at the overall science behind this whole thing. How do we get to this point? How did we get from the 50s being strong Israelite families to this present day where it's almost normal, so normal to see our sisters that have like 3 or 4 babies by different daddies? You know what I'm saying? I've never witnessed anything like that growing up. This is, man, I'm like mind blown of what I'm seeing, and it's scary at the same time.
You know, a lot of that stem from them wicked preachers, man. Because that was the brainwashing station right there.
God.
Man, because look, man, I've been in the church, man, all my life, man, and these couple of years that I've been, looking at brothers on these channels like this and other channels, brothers who actually trying to get his people to turn back to the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, I'm like, I done learned more in this short time than I did, man, in all my life going to
all
church.
Praises.
You
know all praises to the Most High, brother.
It took me a while. I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptic at first, but it took me a while to really grasp that and say, man, look, I'm not learning nothing here.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys is preaching truth. They talking about the real deal and they spitting facts,
Mm-hmm.
line upon line, precept upon precept, and they coming with it. Man, I ain't gonna lie though, man. When I first ran across Brother Daniel's channel, man, dude, I was blown away, man. I'm telling you. My first now, the first guy that I actually started focusing on the truth was Stephen Darby. See,
Oh yeah, yeah, I know he is.
I
Oh
was
yeah,
into the preaching, you know, I was still in church then because I was a deacon then. You know what I'm saying?
that
I
brother
was
was
in the
powerful.
church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was the breakaway guy because, you know, he was still in church, but, you know, he's bringing something different than other preachers was. So that was the wake up for me. But then when I realized, you know what I'm saying? Okay, since we Hebrews, I need to go ahead on and start, you know, searching for more Hebrew brothers who's bringing more and more because I know that he was still in the church scene, you know. But I'm looking for brothers who's actually who done stepped away and really trying to drive you on in, you know what I'm saying? Back to the Most High, man, because that's what we got to turn to, the Most High. You know, I done did some things that I'm not proud of, man. The Most High knows. You know
We
what I'm
all
saying?
have, brother. Yeah.
Man, look, I'm so happy, brother, to be here. I'm telling you. I don't ran them streets. You know what I'm
Right. And
saying?
just a
But
little, you know what I'm saying, just a little, you know, just to pull this back a little bit, back on a particular lesson that we was going on. I wanted to read a couple of scriptures, right? And this is going to help out the brothers and the sisters together to know what to look for. Right. I'm gonna start at verse 21. It says, "Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure." Right. Because see, a lot of our brothers, we have this spirit of shall I say, you know, lust, and we don't want to view the sister because it says that you know, our sisters, they're supposed to be similar to us. So if we break down or we get sick or something like that, they're able to take the helm of the ship until you can be able to get better. There's supposed to be one that's exactly like you, right?
yeah,
That's what you know, that's what it's supposed to be,
That's right.
right? But what we do have to realize is that you know, then I'm gonna read a couple of these, and I want you guys to see this is the same thing that we're going through today, right? We have a high divorce rate, right? If we have, it says that in our community we have 78% divorce, right? 78% divorce rate, right here. Right? It says a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Right. That means that if you're staying long, you know what I'm saying, like if you're staying married to a brother for a long time, that you know, if you are a sister that and you don't have that spirit on you, that spirit of that can do spirit, right? And I'm just saying that as a general purpose. You're going to want to you're going to be full reproach. You're going to be impudent. You know, you're going to want to buck your man. You're not going to want to do what you're supposed to do. You know, now what we have going on out in the community, we have irreconcilable differences. 78% of divorces filed by our people is for irreconcilable differences, which is actually the woman's not happy. That's all that means. You know, she's not happy, right? Now, it says, you know, a wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh a heavy countenance, and as a wounded heart, a woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Right. So, you know, women they have real loud responsibilities. Right. It says a wicked woman abateth the courage. That means if you're at home, right, and you married to the brother, and you over there and you're giving them the third degree, right? You're doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. You're stressing the man out. You're being wicked as hell, loud, obnoxious, you know, argumentative, you know, so forth and so on. What does the scripture say, right? That you're making a heavy countenance and you wounded that man's heart. That's why a lot of times that these brothers don't want to stay around a woman that don't give them peace.
And you
Right?
sisters, if you go on, you sisters that are listening to this, please don't get it, don't get it twisted, don't get it confused. And I know some of y'all are probably thinking we just going hard on the daughters' designs. No, no, brothers, sisters. We love our black women. You best believe that I would never turn my back on my Israelite sister. Never. I would die before that happens. You see what I'm saying? We just want the order to be restored. We want this wickedness between the brothers and sisters to stop. We want the madness to stop, y'all. And it's getting worse. So you can see our frustration because, you know, we're battling something here that's huge, that's bigger than us. And if this thing doesn't get corrected, there's going to be a lot of death. There's going to be a lot of destruction. All right. And for the sister earlier, instead of humbling herself, she wasn't bucking against us. She was bucking against the spirit. And that's a very, very dangerous thing. Now, and that's something that I'm not going to even stress on, but y'all, we gotta be very careful, because when the Most High is giving us something, He's trying to show us something for a reason, and that goes for the brothers too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Our brothers. Now, we do have some brothers, that haven't been brought up strong, like they should.
We talked about
so what you get is a brother. He might run across a sister that has standards,
right.
a sister that requires to be treated like a queen. She got everything in order. She loved the Most High, and she's doing what she's supposed to do. But some brothers, they don't want to live up to that. So they'll run and go get them a heathen, because them heathens don't have no standards. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want. They want to have it their way, because this thing is with both of us. Even though the brothers have it the worst, and they trying to promote the sisters, but they're giving the brother the cold shoulder. They trying to tear him down, beat him down as much as they possibly can, because stewardship starts with the man. And but we really need some brothers to really step up. And when you get a good sister, treat that sister like a queen, like she is. But some brothers, they run from that. I know some brothers who ran from. I'm talking about had good women, ran straight camp, vamoose. But one of the biggest things though is the sisters actually not understanding the fact that in order for us to come together, they have to push the heathen back, and that way that man can come back in their life. But we stir it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's why it's going to take a cataclysmic event to happen. And I hate to say it this way, but when you look at how the Most High works, every time that we went off, what happened to us? He put us into captivity, right? He allowed the enemy to do whatever their pleasure was to us. And when you look back towards slavery, what they did to our forefathers, man, there's just some stuff that it's just so mind blowing. One of them being allowing our children to be fed to alligators, so they can, and you got to ask yourself the question: what kind of people on the face of the earth can be that diabolical? But they would do that to another group of people, and that's what we're dealing with here. And so when we're dealing with divestment and everything, and warning these sisters, hey, look, just because you think that the grass is greener on the other side, do not be fooled by their true nature, because they will in turn kill you. After they're done using you as a trophy, they will kill you. The Bible says that the wicked are estranged from the womb. In Psalm 58, they go about lying, deceiving, and that's all they've ever done. These people know nothing but to lie. That's all they do. So
they don't have a spirit of reasoning.
No, they don't.
They don't have that spirit.
But see, also as well, right? Another thing that's that I noticed that our sisters, they talk about, and they also might choose that divestment culture over, is that they say that he's too controlling, he's too controlling, this, that, and the third, but let's see what the scriptures say, right? I'm gonna continue reading, and then I'm gonna go skip to 36. I'm gonna go to Ecclesiastes 36. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Now, this is the part right here. If she will not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. Now, this was before Hamashiach came and magnified the law, saying that the only way that you could, divorce a woman was through fornication. But from here, I want you to understand is that if she go not as thou wouldest have her, means that what? You have total control, right? And I'm not meaning a control freak, but I mean in a righteous nature, right? She's supposed to do what you ask her to do. You know, it's not supposed to be any arguments or anything of that nature. Hey, man, let's just go ahead and get it done, and we can work toward this plan together. No argument. Let's go ahead and get on the same page so we can continue forth and make this happen. You know, because if we can't get on the same page and you have thoughts about whatever you want to do, and which is contrary to what I want to do, man, this thing is just not going to work out, right? So I wanted to go to Ecclesiastes 36 real quick, and I wanted to show you guys one other thing, right? And this is actually for us brothers too, right? I want you to understand this is for the brothers as well, right? It says, "He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession," right? Which means that she belongs to you, right? "A help like unto himself and a pillar of rest," right? Now, it says what there? A help like unto himself, a pillar of rest, which I was saying earlier that, these, our sisters, they're supposed to be a pillar of rest. We're not supposed to be stressed out. We got enough stuff that we got to deal with already in the world without having our sisters add extra stress onto us. I think it's on average what the heathen makes on average, average of $10,000 more than we do. That's just on the hiring basis. And they say, we know nothing's going to be equal. So if we can have a strong partner, a strong helpmeet that's with us, right? That's going to catapult our nation, into that next era of following the laws, statutes, and commandments, because we got to get there.
That's right.
We're going to get there.
That's right. And before you go on, brother, let me iterate this first part where it says, "He that getteth a wife beginneth a good possession." Now, sisters, when you look at that, don't let that scare you. Don't let that get it confused, because when it talks about a possession, you have a lot of our sisters who think that, oh, now we're supposed to be slaves to the man. That's not what this is talking about. I gotta be under the whip and all this stuff. No, like I expressed earlier, if a brother is truly dedicated to the Most High and he's keeping the Torah to his with all his mind, soul, and strength, he will treat you like a queen. All right, you're not gonna feel like in a sense that you think a possession is, but that just means you join. You and rightfully so. The word you belong to that man.
Right.
And there's just no other way around it. So don't let that get you round up. But a lot of our sisters see that. Yeah, a lot of our sisters see that, and and they're like, I ain't gonna be under no man. Ain't no man ruling me. But that's the kind of mentality that we see right now with a lot of our people.
So
what's that scripture that says an evil man deserves an evil wife or something like that? And I just want to put that out too, because that's a lot of things too what our brothers and our sisters are going towards. Now, 9 times out of 10, now it could be one or two things. Now, either the Most High could be putting you under subjection, right? And then pulling you through a trial, like we get tried through the fire. It could be that, right? Like Job was. Right, Job was tried through the fire. He ended up getting a new old lady and new children and everything after he was tried. Or, right, you could be a wicked brother, and the Most High is punishing you for that. And then that's why you had a wicked woman. Like I said, you're not supposed to be lusting after these women to want to, man. You want to help me to help you build you and help build you a family, right? Help build you a bloodline and constant, something that you can leave behind for your son, something righteous. Right, it's just not for sex and this, that, and the third. Right, it's just that our whole outlook on what these things are. They need to change. Right, sisters need to put on clothes. Right, because by them putting on clothes, it's going to get our mentality out of that lustful thinking.
Yes.
Look at them, like more from a point of, let's see what you got upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're, if your breast ain't out, your butt ain't out, things of that nature. I'm not really focused on that. I'm focused on now, what your eyes look like, and then what you're saying out of your mouth. And seeing are you a good candidate to raise my son, or my daughter that I have in the future.
What her heart is like.
Yeah.
See what they lead off of what looks. You'll catch a man quick if you got the right curvage. Yeah, you'll catch him. How you gonna keep him? You got to be right. You got to have a good heart. You got to have morals in order to keep a good man.
Yeah.
You know, any woman could catch a man, but keeping him is the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and they want to be treated like queens, but do you know how to play the role of a queen?
That's
Can
right.
you conduct yourself like a queen?
Go on. And then truthfully, that's even something that's a made up like queens in Israel were the mothers that raised up the sons and things. That those were the queens in Israel, right? The wives that Solomon had, they were just wives. They weren't queens, right? Queens were the mothers that had married husbands, and they raised up the sons. Those were the queens that were in the homes. If you read the scriptures, you'll see that the queens are the mothers of these sons. You know, the queens are not the wives. You know, you don't get nothing. You know, if all the you know what I'm saying, just like today, right? If I was married, right, and I was keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, if I were to die, if I'm in this heathen society, if I were to die, my riches and my wealth, they would go to my spouse, to my wealth. You know what I'm saying? My riches and my wealth would go to my spouse, right? But the scriptures say what? That when the father dies, who does the
firstborn?
Khan.
Yeah, firstborn. The firstborn.
Khan. That's right.
Yeah. And that's the way it was. You know, we knew that this was going to be a hot topic moment, and this lesson was by request. We had a couple of people, a brother, who really asked us if we could do this, and this is something we looked over. We researched it, and like I said, I didn't realize how bad it was until the brother emailed me and showed me. It's like, wow. So as I was, I spent like a whole week really diving into this, and because I wanted to get a better understanding of it. Like I said, I knew about the whole divestment movement. I just didn't know. I just didn't know the whole routine of it, you know, until I saw the discussions of it and everything, and I realized, okay, so that's why there was a lot of debts and stuff like that relating to that. So again, you know, we don't want you all to think that we're just coming down hard on you just because we're doing it. You know, we don't like doing this kind of stuff, you know, but we know it has to be done, and we know that it has to be dealt with. All right. And some of you sisters may feel like, well, how come you're not getting on the men? You know, we get on the men. The men are responsible. We have a lot to be accountable for. Which I got to realize that who is the war really against? When you look at the big picture. And so we need help. We need our women. We need our women to come down back to earth, and we need our women by our sides. We just do, because you know the women is our source of power. It's like you know the old saying with Samson, he was so strong and everything, but the source of our power, you know, is our backbone. It's our women, and you know, without that, you know, we're like just flapping in the wind. And then when we get beat down by the sisters because they feel like there's no good brothers out there, you know, that makes it even worse, because then they fail to really study the science of what's really going on behind the scenes, and don't even realize that they're being led by their oppressors to just go along with the flow. You know, with the whole, just like this whole, what you call that one movement, the whole Black Lives Matter movement has nothing to do with our people. Yes, it's foolishness, because you have a bunch of lesbians and homosexuals and hunchback, pearlback, green white women and all kinds of stuff in there, you know, and it's just pure wickedness, you know. It's ridiculous, and that's the kind of stuff that our people are following.
God, right, and well, just a few more scriptures, like our brother Gam, the Wadah, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that scripture. I couldn't pull it up in the mind. It says but I wanted to read 22 and 23, right? This is Ecclesiastes or Sirach 26 verses 22, 23. It says, a harlot shall be accounted as spittle, right? Sisters, I want you to understand, right? A harlot shall be accounted as spittle. That means we got to keep that body count down. You know, if you have a daughter, right, and you know, hey, you have to You have to talk to her, make her understand how important it is to be righteous, right? Because it says a harlot shall be accounted as spittle. And what is spittle? Spittle, that's the same thing that the Most High had akin the heathen to, less than nothing. But a married woman, is a tower against death to her husband. It says a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. Right? So that goes in to both of the men and the women. Hey, brother, if you want you a good sister, right, we need you to keep the commandments.
Yes.
You have to keep the commandments if you want you a good sister, right? But if you don't keep the commandments, you're going to get your portion, right? Which is a wicked woman. And everybody knows that a wicked woman is hard to deal with. And there's nothing worse than dealing with a wicked woman. She will drive you crazy, drive you to the poorhouse, take your children, acting all crazy when it's time for you to come see them. All kinds of foolishness. All kinds of foolishness is going down.
Man, they got brothers who like that.
Right. So, that was just my I think that was the last scripture I really wanted to pull out, dealing with this kind of thing. Sisters, please, this divestment culture, right? If you don't get your fathers mixed up in this mess, you over there, you want to date the heathen, you're gonna get destroyed. The Most High will destroy you. Right? We don't want the Most High, he has it says what? We're not gonna have no harlots or no whores of the daughter of Israel. And we're not gonna have any sodomites of the sons of Israel. So we're not gonna have no no homosexuals, no folks that are being effeminate as far as the brothers, right? And you sisters, right? Even if you're right now, you listening, right? And you have and you're at odds with your baby daddy or what it might be or whatever it might be, right? And you have a daughter or a son that's there. You have to pray and get over that, right? Pray, get over that. Try to realize what I'm saying, whatever it went off, and realize your part. Even if he does have a part to play, you need to realize your part too, because guess what? All right, by you keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, that could do what? That could also encourage him to keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
That can also, these things lead down, because the Most High, he will, if he sees righteousness, he's there. With one or two people speaking the name of the Most High, he's there. Right. So we need to know that when he's there, things are happening, right? Miracles are happening. The Most High is laying on people's hearts, right? To come back to him.
Hey, brother, can you do me a favor? Go to Malachi. I want to get something for the men right quick. Malachi chapter 4.
All right.
Malachi 4 and 5. Because I said earlier that the Most High is going to cause something to happen, y'all. And I see the writing on the wall. And the Most High has a way of bringing his people together. We're not going to like the way he's doing it, but it's it's going to bring us together, whether we like it or not. All right. And so, we have to really understand. So for the brothers, we know the situation, and we know that so many of our brothers are, even I'm sure a lot of our brothers here in the chat too are a result of single parenting. But listen to what it says here in Malachi 4 and 5. It says, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord." Now we know that this has not happened, and we know that one of the two witnesses is going to be Elijah, because it says right here, verse 6, it proves it. It says, "And he shall what? He shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers." Now, why would this verse say that? Because, again, remember I said earlier that the war is against the men. All right. When we can get these men, like once we get to a point that we can get to lead and everything, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with, y'all. "And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." So look, y'all, again, like Brother Aton was saying, sisters, we need the women, and we can't stress this enough, that we really need our women to understand. I know there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of fighting, going on. There's a lot of finger pointing, but we got to look at the truth and what the word says. What this Torah says. The Torah says that the woman was created to be submissive to the man, and the man is the priest of the home. I get it. There's a lot, it's just we're in a messed up situation, all right, because we're so out of order now that it's like the Most High has to allow all this stuff to just play itself out. And as a result of this, our women are being killed by the hands of the enemies, and our brothers are being killed by the hands of the enemies. Something's got to give, Zion. Something's going to have to give. And I feel I really feel the tension. I feel the breaking point now. And I'm starting to see little by little. I'm starting to see, especially sisters are starting to realize that, and that are starting to get on these other sisters about dogging out the brothers, and vice versa. So, we're gonna keep, as long as we got breath in us, we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep fighting against wickedness. And we're gonna keep banging the scriptures to y'all. We're not gonna stop doing this.
Don't stop. Don't ever stop. Keep it coming.
Right?
Keep it coming, brothers.
That's strong right there. Sister Diane said, "The wicked ones kill the head, and the body will fall."
Oh man,
that's a headshot right there.
That's good right there.
That's but that is true. It's like what they say. Used to say in the military: one shot, one kill. Man. So if anybody got any more questions, go ahead and put them out. I know we went over a little bit, but this topic was very important to discuss. And brother, I want to thank you for being on with us too, brother.
Man,
refer to you as elder. So elder,
God,
is our elder. We always have respect for our elders. So.
Hey, brother Binya, how do you pronounce your first name?
Yeah,
Nakan.
Okay.
Khan. Okay.
Right.
All praises.
All right. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment. If you still want to come on backstage, just come on. We just ask that you show your face so we can make sure that you're Israel. So we'll give you a few minutes here. So we don't want to wear out the patience of the saints.
I realize how long we've been on. We've been on 4 hours.
Yeah. This is one of our longer ones, but again, this had to be addressed. Also, y'all, brothers and sisters, if you have something that you want us to discuss, go ahead and put it in a comment box as well too. If you have something out there that really is on your heart and you want us to discuss it during thing, this is what this channel is for.
God, we have no problems at all. Trying to help you guys out, or even just going over certain scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to even come on to discuss, like the elder has, to come up to discuss scriptures.
That's right.
It's all brotherly love here. As you see, it's love. It's love with me and the brothers. That's how we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Even if we had sisters on, it'll be the same.
Yeah.
It'll be the same situation. Now we do make our head hard against your head if you about that wickedness. Now we ain't playing with that.
And that's the thing, sisters. And don't get offended. Don't take it personal. I know we had a few that bucked up. We didn't badmouth nobody. We didn't insult nobody. But we will deal with wickedness. So don't think that we're weak. We're not weak men. All right, me and brother, and I'm guarantee you the elder that's with us tonight. We are strong brethren. Men of the Most High. So. And that's so, we just ask that you show that courtesy and respect, and we will respect you as well. We'll give you an opportunity to come on. We've had several sisters that came on before in the past, and the conversations went really well. Okay, so we're not here to strike down our sisters at all. That is not the case at all. Again, like brother said, he made a good point. We will make our heads hard against your head if you're about that wickedness. And that's something that we can't just tolerate, So I don't see, let me see. Can you explain? Can you be more elaborate on that? What do you mean by that? Can you explain to me Esther's situation?
And it has to be dealing with the lesson. And, we can't have. We just can't go off and talking about things not dealing with election. Other than Mordecai, saying. I mean, I guess you saying that Mordecai and how she was, saying how she had to be kind to the king or whatever, and how she had to be like I say, the Most High, He has a different plan for us. For the women versus the men. It's that particular situation. We was Esther was looking out for all of ours, all of our people in that situation. Luckily she was there, to fight, or Mordecai and the rest of the Israelites right there, they would have been put to death because that was a wicked ass king at the time.
And who was it that not Mordecai, but the other Esther's uncle?
Yeah, it was Mordecai. It was Mordecai.
Mordecai. Yeah, so he had to like threaten her. He kind of had to.
Yeah, man, he had to actually threaten her to to do it. Yeah, saying that you ain't gonna get the kingdom, you and your people ain't gonna get the kingdom if you didn't convince that king to do what he was supposed to do.
Yeah. And then situations like that too. The Most High used certain situations like that too. So I'm not too sure if he was referring to that as far as she, her being queen. But normally in a case you don't see that. So that's a very rare case. Same with Joseph. Like people talk about Joseph. Joseph. First of all, he went into captivity. All right. So technically he was still a servant to Pharaoh. Even though he was made governor. Although he still had a dedication as well too. So, but hey, look, Zion, Israel, we don't see more questions. So, look, brother Eitan, if you got anything, we're gonna get ready to break it off here so everybody can enjoy the rest of their Shabbat.
No, I'm good. I'm good on this. Khan. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Israel.
Elder, you want to say a word?
Hey, look, brother, y'all calling me an elder, man. We probably the same age, man. Hey, man, I grew up in the 70s too, man.
Oh yeah. Well, we're probably about the same age then. Well, we're all elders though, so Brother, we thank you for coming on, man. Enjoyed having you on, man.
It's a pleasure, man. I'm happy you guys allowed me to come on, man.
Oh yeah, brother.
Man. All praises. Thanks, brother. It was good. It was good politicking with you.
Yes, sir, man. Just man, keep them coming, man.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, man, we could all reach our people, man, and they make it to the finish line in time, man.
That's right, man.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. And then for those of you all who stuck with us for this time, I want to appreciate your sisters who are really humble and encouraging us. Sister L'Oreal, appreciate you. I mean, you've been really Tina Thornton. Really appreciate you all, sisters, coming on. You guys have been on strong with us, and your other sisters as well too. So that's what we need. We need sisters on our side. We need sisters to really, hey, look, they know what the deal is. Let's get our power back.
Yeah,
we need our women. We need our women back.
Right.
For real.
Yeah. All right. Well, don't have anything else? Well, I'll say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, Israel.
Stay strong.
Hey.